Joining us now, former special advisor to President Trump, Catalina Lauf, and CEO of London Global Strategies, Diana London, as well as radio talk show host and author of the new book, Gods, Algorithms, and the Rise of Civilization Cosmocracy, Steve Turley. Great to have you all here tonight. If I were Southern, I would find that pretty offensive. But Catalina, your reaction, do these ladies deserve Oscars?
You know what? AOC has been a paid actress since the day that she won her primary election. That's all that she does when she's in Congress. And this is why people like myself and others across the country are running for Congress now, because we're sick and tired of these paid actors and actresses fighting for these socialism, communism, pandering to crowds without actually doing anything for the American people.
Diana, now here's the guy AOC was rallying for. Check out how he shows respect to the state troopers who are working to protect him.
What? What is wrong with you? What is wrong with you? You stupid mother.
I mean, Diana, so is AOC going to be talking like him soon, too? What do you think?
You know, it's election season when the new accents come out and, they start honing in on the demographics that they got to win over. But, I think they keep forgetting that, these progressive stars make great headlines. They dominate social media and excite activists, but they keep failing to connect with everyday voters. It's a sign that the Democrat bench is getting weaker as the party drifts further and further to the left. And I think that, I actually like when they're out there talking, because it gives Republicans a chance to remind the people that even though they may not be satisfied with how fast things may not be moving, our party is the party of common sense and American workers. And we actually know what our gender is. God made us as a male or a female, and we don't need, DEI and programs to brainwash us into that. So I think the American people are smarter than this.
Amazing how disciplined the troopers were.
I know.
Right?
I can't imagine. They're holding back.
Right.
But from Tennessee to Maine, where this week the Democrats held a debate for the vacancy left in the Senate race after Graham Plattner dropped out last week. And let's just say the debate, it produced a new star for the Democrats.
Ashley Webb, what qualifications do you have to serve in the U.S. Senate?
Oh, I ran for office several times. Didn't win, but I did run. And then I'm a songwriter, and then I write my own books. And then I suppose my transparency, I wouldn't lie to the people and I wouldn't deceive the people like we're being deceived right now. Like with the trans community, like we're being dehumanized. They say that we want to hurt people. I don't want to hurt anybody. I just want to use the bathroom. And if they want me to use the men's room, I will, but I don't want to be assaulted.
A star is born there, Steve. Should Susan Collins be worried about this?
Not in the least. I, if anything, I think she's paying for that.
Maybe.
Those opponents. There's a hilarious conspiracy theory out there that Ashley Webb is actually Graham Plattner in disguise. I don't know if you've seen that. When you see the memes side by side, you can't unsee it. But yeah, that Maine Democrat Senate debate as a whole, I mean, really encapsulated exactly what some are calling bio-Leninism, and it's different from the old Leninism. The old Leninism, you got promoted up the party ranks because of your ideological fidelity to economic Marxism. In the new bio-Leninism, you get promoted up the party ranks by virtue of how many identity boxes that you can check. But the result is the same. The chief casualty of both the old Leninism and the new is competence, precisely because competence is no longer a criterion for party promotion. So what you just saw there, I mean, it wasn't just Ashley Webb. It was all four of them. You saw four casualties of competence, and I think that's the inevitable future of the Democratic Party itself.
It was like a bad Saturday Night Live skit. I mean,
It was.
I had to check to see if it was real. I'm like, wait a minute, this can't be real. All right, Catalina, I want to ask you to move to California, where a failed candidate for governor, Katie Porter, calling it a career when it comes to politics. Looks like Porter has finally gotten the message. Voters just don't like her. So she's literally beginning a new chapter. Listen.
I'm done for now with politics and campaigning. But one thing that's always been a constant from when I was a little kid to now is to love to read, and taking a lot of solace and heart and joy, pleasure in reading. So I'm rebranding this account as Katie Porter Turns the Page. It's partly a reference to a new chapter in my life, to the change, but also to something I do a lot, which is turn the page when I'm reading.
Catalina, just desperate for attention, never ends?
It doesn't, but I have to say, at least she's not like one of those candidates that keeps running and trying to sell something that nobody wants to buy. At least she has an ounce of introspection, unlike Kamala Harris and some of these others. And so it's totally attention seeking. Glad that she's out of California politics. Hope we don't have her back at all. But, unfortunately, you get a lot of politicians that have to constantly be in the limelight, in the spotlight. They crave that attention. At least she has a little ounce of awareness, I have to say, that she's giving it up.
Or she's trying to recreate her image here, Diana. I mean, we know Katie Porter from all those awkward videos where she was yelling at her staff and just acting inappropriately. I mean, your reaction?
Well, I think she's taken a page. Well, I think she's probably following after our second lady, Usha Vance, who has a fabulous reading podcast every week. So maybe she's, taking a page out of her book, but she's also turning the page like the Minnesota first lady who, when she got on the stage with her husband during the presidential run, she kept saying, turning the page. So anyways, but Katie, this is the thing about Katie Porter. She built her entire career preaching accountability, but voters finally held her accountable. And so she branded herself as the Democrats' anti-establishment warrior, after losing, her Senate race and then fifth place in the governor's race. She's walking away from politics. So, really, I think this just shows that the Democratic Party has a serious problem, and we'll just let them figure it out. In the meantime, we'll hopefully keep winning.
Steve, real quick, do you think that she's going to be reading to kids and yelling at the kids like she was yelling at the staff? That's what I'm envisioning now.
Well, I noticed she did the video. If you notice, her chair is right against the wall, the back wall, so nobody can get into her shot. So she's learning from that vantage point. Yeah, I got to say, I just think Katie Porter is the perfect expression of California politics, right? Her arrogance, her fury at accountability, the horrific way she treated her staffers, the very people she claimed to champion. It's all a perfect expression of what happens when you have a single party rule for decades. It's a party that's arrogant, it's completely insulated from consequences, and it hurts the very people they claim to help. So I think both she and California politics are a disaster. I think she was a disaster of a professor, a disaster of a politician. And I don't think she's going to be much of a bookagram or bookstagram influencer. So I think she's going to go into obscurity where she belongs, hopefully like the Democrat Party itself.
There you go. Steve Turley, Diana London, and Catalina Lauf, thank you all for joining us.